In this video, I'll show you how to make budget planning for your company using Google Sheets. In this Google table, you see a sample document containing a budget for HR department. And I'll briefly tell you what columns and rows are there in this document. So, a column category contains some name that helps you to group different budget entries. I use department name as a category, but you may use it for whatever you want. Then there is a column for application describing the purpose of the budget entry. Then a column priority helps you to set a priority for the budget entry. Then there are several columns for different months. For each month, there is a number and a name of the month. The next column, total, contains the total number for entire row. Then column decision contains the decision on the budget entry, either it's approved or disapproved or unknown. And a column comments contains some comments if needed for the application. There is a row for budget max. It contains the calculation of the total budget, including approved and disapproved for the entire column. And there is a row named budget approved, which contains only the total for the entries which were approved. So in this document, you can add new budget entries for different applications. Let's say some corporate cups may also be here, and you can add some numbers. As you may see, in the document there is a zebra coloring that alternates the color of the sequential rows. So some colors are gray, some colors are white, which helps to read the document simpler. The feature is implemented using conditional formatting feature of Google Sheets, and it's set up here. And if you want to remove the feature, you should just go to the conditional formatting and remove this formatting. There is also green and red highlight of approved and disapproved rows, which is automatically applied. It is also implementing with conditional formatting feature. Also, a useful feature is that the formula for total calculation is automatically applied to all the new rows that you add. For example, if I insert one more row here, the formula for total calculation is automatically applied. By default, you should copy-paste the formula in Google Sheets, but in this document, we use array formula feature of Google Sheets to apply this sum calculation to all the cells with total. And this row is hidden by default, but you may show it clicking like on these arrows here. And one thing you should know about array formulas is that you shouldn't override the values in cells that are under array formula. So in case I add some number here, I'll see an error in the array formula cell, which tells that I should clean the cell P11 cell. And if I do that, the formula is applied again. So I'll hide the row and go forward. The month columns are collapsible. You can hide them if you want. And you can use share button to provide an access to this document to the department head and to other people who has access to the budget and who participates in the budget planning. And you can create the same document for another department, for example, for a marketing department, which contains like different applications. And also it has its own permissions, like for example, HR director may not have access to a marketing budget if you want so. And if you have different departments, as in my case, you may want to have some document that contains the total numbers for all the departments. And I have this document here, so I'll have a tab for HR and marketing departments here, and a tab with total numbers calculation. And I'll show you how it works. So these values are not just copied from the corresponding documents. They are reused using import range feature of Google Sheet. It means that if I change something in HR budget document, for example, I changed the price of corporate cups from 23 to just $3, and I changed the priority of this application. So then I see that the corresponding tab in the total budget document is also changed, which is very useful. I cannot change values in these total budget tabs. So if I try to do so, I get the same error as with array formula. So it says that I shouldn't override values in corresponding cells. And let's look one more time at the total budget tab. Here I have like the number for max budget and the number for total approved budget per department and per entire company, and an approved budget for each month of the year. And I'll show you how to add one more department in these documents. So for example, if I want to add information for IT department budget here, I should take the budget template document. By the way, all the samples and documents that I show you are attached to the video description below. So if I want to create a document for IT budget, I make a copy of the template. Name it, for example, IT budget. Okay, I rename it to IT, and then add some values here, like for example, IT department, and like purchase of computers, servers maintenance, and software licenses. Okay, I assign some priorities to them, put some numbers here. Then I set some status. By the way, it should be named decision. And that's it. So now I want to connect this with my total budget document. So in order to do that, I select a copy to option, enter total budget here, and now the IT budget is copied in my total budget. At the moment I have values copied in this sheet, but it's not what I want to do. I want to connect these sheets for the values to be reused. So in order to do that, I clean all the values. Then I copy the URL address of my IT budget document and write a formula here. So I import range of this document with rows from A to Z. Now I see an error like saying that I need to allow access to connect these sheets. So I allow access. Now I see that values are inserted, but they are not copied, they are reused. So if I change, for example, a priority for C7 to, let's say, high priority, so I see that the document is changed. And the last thing I need to do is to add this IT tab to my total tab. So I write IT here and just copy the entire row from the previous department, and the values from IT are inserted here. So we can check it. For example, approved budget for IT is $27. Let's check it. Right, it's $27. Everything works. So please note that this department name should exactly match the name of the tab. So if it will be different, then you'll get a mistake here. And one more thing you should know is that you cannot change the background color of the cell just because the conditional formatting is used. Oh, you can change the format of the white cell, but not the gray cell, because the gray formatting is applied by the conditional formatting. And also sometimes you may see a mistake, like this value somehow may not be written here, so there will be like something like ref something with some mistake. And in order to fix this, you need just to clear the entire row and then again copy paste it, and everything will work as expected. And if you want to create a tab with all the numbers, but the numbers to be fixed, if you have finalized everything and you want to have the final tab with final numbers, it's also very simple to do. So you need to duplicate the total tab. You can name it whatever you want, like for example total and finalized. Then you select not empty cells, make a copy of them, and then you paste special values only. So values are pasted and they do not depend on the other tabs anymore. And you can also restore the format of the cells by selecting the previous tab, making copy of it, and then making paste special, paste format only. So now the format is restored, but the values are independent. That's it. I hope this video will help you in managing your company. Thank you.